Hi, thanks for stopping by the Unconventional Homestead. We're in our garage. I'm Jenny. This is not where I normally film, but we are in a collaboration this month with Natasha from Budget Preppers, and it is, I have to make sure I get it right, May It Last long-term food. Very, very clever. Anyway, long-term food storage means different to every person. To me, long-term means it's gonna last longer than if I didn't preserve it. I do have food that'll probably last 5 to 10 years in my food storage, but I don't plan on 30 right now. I don't have enough. But this, I am very excited about. As you know, we love our Harvest Right medium freeze dryer, Nellie, and I have done a lot of duck eggs because my husband Anthony and I primarily eat duck eggs. I only eat duck eggs. He occasionally will eat a chicken egg, but he prefers duck anyway. So one of the problems is that a lot of keto and low carb recipes call for egg white powder. Up until just recently, there was no commercially made duck egg white powder. So I had to make my own. So I've been doing this for years, probably 5 or 6 years, where I have been making my own duck egg white powder, and I used to dehydrate it. Now, here's a word of caution. My kitchen, my rules, we do eat raw eggs. I do not cook my egg whites before I dehydrate them or freeze dry them, and I will use them in a recipe. This, do your own research. Research if you feel comfortable with eating raw egg product. I know where my eggs come from, and I'm very comfortable with eating them. But just to warn you, do a little research before you do this. But I'm really excited because in the last probably 6 weeks, I got pretty smart. I've been doing this for a long time, and what I would do is anytime I just needed yolks, I would save the egg whites and I would put them in a jar, usually a pint size, this is a quart, but a pint size jar in my refrigerator. And then I'd do something with them. Well, once in a while, and a pint can hold like 27 egg whites, duck egg whites, I think is what it holds-ish. They went bad. And I'm like, oh, finally, hello, I just freeze it. And so every time I get some, I just come out to the freezer and I pour it in and now I have a lot. And I actually found in my freezer, because I really want to get my freezers cleaned out, I found some quart Ziplocs of 10 egg whites that I had frozen last year when I froze some eggs that I got. So I have those. So I have a lot. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to get all 4 trays duck egg whites or just 3, but let's see what we can get. So what I do when I do eggs for the freeze dryer is I always load the trays into the freezer, and I pour the liquid in there. So I am going to bring the camera around so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not gonna have you watch me do it for 4 trays, but I'll have you watch me for 1. And then when I'm done, I'll let you know how many I have. I always pre-freeze my trays. I would not think of doing eggs not pre-frozen, but some people do. But I'd be afraid they would slosh in my machine, and I don't want to get it super dirty to have to clean it out and have raw egg product in my freeze dryer. When I first did eggs, I did it down in my upright freezer, and I still am finding some egg product down there because my upright freezer is not perfectly level. The wire racks are not perfectly level. So this works really well for me, is using the top of a freezer, and I have my lids out here, and let's get going. Okay, so you see my one tray. I actually have 4 other trays ready to go in the freeze dryer because I do try to keep a little bit ahead. So I moved those to another one because it is really, I can fit 8 trays in here, but I can't pour the top tray in. So I relocated those 4 to another freezer. And then here's some things that will be working their way. I do keep our freeze dryer going almost all the time. The only time I didn't is when we went, trying to get this open, to visit my sister and brother-in-law, and we had it off for 4 days. That's the longest it's been off since we got it. So this is a quart. I usually put 4 cups, a quart, of broth in a tray, so I'm thinking this will be all that I'll want to fill. Yes. That's it. I'll put the lid on, and then I'm going to stack the other 3 trays, and I'll bring you back when I'm done. I'm really excited. I got 4 trays full of duck egg whites. It's going to be awesome. These won't take very long to freeze, and they won't take very long to freeze dry. So, and I'm guesstimating there's 40 duck egg whites in each tray. That's amazing. That's going to last me a long time, and they'll be preserved. So I will bring you back when I go in, put them in, Nellie, and I'll bring you when they come out so I can show you how I keep them. Nellie says she's on extra dry time, so she has been going with the duck egg whites for 39 hours. 4 hours of that is extra dry time. So let's stop it and see if it's actually ready. So we press cancel on the screen, don't press anything else. 3 options will come up: no defrost, more dry time, or defrost. I always wait until I've done all 4 trays before I press a button. I've learned the hard way. You need to check all of the trays. I have had a few times where it's not really dry. So, let's see what we got. Oh, it looks pretty good. I am going to check the bottom tray. Yeah, because that's one of the cooler ones. So let's do this. I'm gonna bring you down, maybe. Make sure you can, yeah, there we go. Okay, what I do is I have, this is an 8-quart Cambro, and my tray fits perfectly in there. Now, I'm going to put each tray in one Mylar, because, let me show you, this was 1 quart of this, and it turned into this. I powdered it just before I came down here to show you this is what I will be doing with all of these. But I'm gonna store them just like this with a low moisture oxygen absorber in them. You know what I am gonna get? I have this, which just takes the mess out of it. And that's it. And this is a low moisture oxygen absorber. And then I will heat seal it. And I always triple seal mine. But you can hear that it's dry. I leave these on this table. I'll wipe down the table when I'm all done. I leave these on the table. Reason being is I will leave them for a few days just to make sure that I did not make a mistake. Because if I find out tomorrow morning when I come down to clean the machine and get it ready to refill it, if these aren't crunchy, I'm going to put them in the freezer and reprocess them. I don't want to lose that food. So that's what I do. I do a little research, see what other people are doing. If you've never had a fail, then that's fine, but I have, and it's not fun to have to throw food away, for me at least. So we're good to go. It's crunchy, it's in here, I impulse sealed it, and I will be checking it tomorrow, and it'll be then put into a tote and into my storage, because this will take me a little while to go through it. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate Natasha inviting me to this collaboration, and I look forward to watching all the other content creators' great ideas on May It Last long-term food. Great idea. It's helpful to see what other people are doing. And again, make sure you comment below so you're included in the drawing. And thank you for stopping by. Until next time, make sure you're preserving your food.